Alright y'all, it's time for a new video, and this time I'm heading back up to Ground Zero Performance to get the 3000 dyno tuned on the Chrome ECU by Hans. And I have picked well, I didn't pick it intentionally, but I've ended up with having the worst luck when it comes to weather, trying to get this thing up and back from here. So I brought it up on Wednesday because I knew on Thursday, yesterday, we were going to be having a storm. So I brought it up Wednesday. It was a beautiful sunny day, but there was still like snow and stuff on the ground. So the car got hammered with salt, just like spray on the road from it melting, because it was in like the 40s. But then it snowed yesterday, and it's Friday now, and it's still snowing. So I have the empty trailer behind me, and I'm driving on these roads are slushy. Like in the towns, the roads are slushy, but then when you get in between these little tiny towns, the roads get kind of hairy, especially because I'm driving right next to the Delaware River. And you know, there's points where like it's basically just you, a little guardrail, and the Delaware River Canal. So I got to get up there. I got about 15 more minutes until we get to the shop, and I'll find a place to stash this whole thing and get to work on the 3000 and see what kind of power it makes. Hoping everything goes smooth. I don't really know what to expect. I wasn't there like when the V got dyno tuned after the cam. I wasn't there, and I've never personally had one of my own cars on a dyno and like been there to experience it. I have a bunch of detailer and cleaning rags. I want to clean the car while it's on the dyno, just to get like the salt off the wrap. But then when I put it back on the trailer, I brought like a torch, shovels, brooms, and everything to try and de-ice the trailer. And basically when I put it on the trailer, I brought a roll of pallet wrap. So I'm gonna wrap my entire car in plastic so that it doesn't get absolutely annihilated with road salt, slush, ice, etc., etc., etc. on the way home, because it's like an hour drive, a little over an hour drive home. And I anticipate these roads will be even worse later when I have the car on the trailer. So I'll check back in with you guys once I'm all situated at Ground Zero and Hans gets the car strapped down to the dyno. Wow, nice.
280. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, it was just it neutered the boost. So down low.
So it's,
well, which was the boost controller settings?
Yeah, it just dropped
before
it
it was
down.
making like a ton of corrections real fast, so it had like a little bit of a boost spike.
Yeah.
So I just gotta, once I look at the data log there, I can finagle that, and then we'll get right back up into that.
Cool.
And more. So.
So now you're back.
Back to where I started?
Yeah, power-wise, made 3 more foot-pounds of torque, so.
At least we're going forwards.
Yeah, right? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, so 300, 283. Nice.
It was like maybe 9 pounds.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Nothing. Now the torque is nice and flat.
Yeah.
Power's coming on fast.
So while we're taking a break here, Hans wired in a Turbo Smart back valve to give this car electronic cruise control.
Yeah, it 10 and then drop down to like 9. Hardest, I can't keep, it's so hard to fucking watch that shit.
Yeah. So it's not bad. 325 so far.
Yeah.
It's really not bad at all.
For stock injectors,
Yeah.
that's good shit right there.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have any signs of stopping. It just wants to keep going.
Sweet. 329, 344. 329, 344.
I think that's going to be it because, I mean, that's like right at the edge there.
Yeah, that's a lot more torque than what we started with too.
Yeah. Yeah, so boost comes in fast on these TD04s, so you're going to get torque real fast.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what boost it's hitting right now. We only have like 2 counts of knock, which is fine. But yeah, nice. That's pretty smooth. So we'll get rid of all the other runs.
Yeah, except for the first. And
yeah. So what I did was, I added more boost down low.
Okay.
And kind of tapered it off down up high because we were running out of fuel, you know, with the stock injectors. So I mean, down here, I'm talking, what is that, 54 horsepower more?
Yeah.
Down at 4,200 RPMs.
Yeah.
So that's a lot. And torque, and now there's almost 70 foot-pounds of torque just here. And that's where you're going to be, that's your spot, you know?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just over $4 grand.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you got a lot going on here.
Nice.
Got another horsepower-wise, talking 40 horsepower, 40 foot-pounds of torque. We're at the 5,300 RPM range. Here, you know, it's going to 30 horsepower difference. All up in here, it's going to be about 30 horsepower, 25. So, but I mean, that's fuel related.
Yeah, yeah.
So what you do is on, like the boost control has a target load that you want to hit. And then it only goes up to like 159 point something, which we always want to run more than 159 load.
Right.
So they have what's called a boost offset. So that adds, say, 10, 20, whatever you want. So instead of it hitting 159, you add 20, it'll hit 179.
Gotcha.
So what we did was we take the base number and we, since you're stock fuel, we decrease some of it in the upper RPMs. So when you do the adders, they add 20 to it. It only adds, say the max is 159, you can add 20 to it. Well, we put this at like 150, so you can run more boost down here because you have fuel for it and less up here.
Gotcha.
Easy.
Cool.
So, and that's a different part. That's gonna be
Oh yeah, it's gonna huge. Right. I know. Just going from it was 280 foot-pounds of torque to 345.
Yeah.
Ugh, excuse me.
Yeah. So we're talking you gain 55 foot-pounds. No.
20, 65.
65.
65 foot-pounds.
So yeah, I mean that's
30 wheel horsepower and 65 foot-pounds of torque is like a really big. You're gonna feel that.
And, yeah, and you got a lot more down low. I mean,
yeah.
A lot more.
Yeah.
60 horsepower. That's
hell yeah.
40, 45 horsepower down there. So yeah, it hits hard, real hard down low.
Oh, this sucks. It needs to stop snowing. There she is, the 330 horsepower car.
Alright, look at this.
Yeah, power steering's not happy. Yeah, especially when the wheel's turning that much. Oh yeah. I might have to move. Yeah. All right, guys. So the car is behind me on the trailer, all wrapped up in plastic. So the car ended up making 329 point something, so 330 horsepower, 344 foot-pounds of torque, and and it now has electronic boost controlled by the ECU. It is a lot more responsive when it comes to boost. The boost kicks in a lot quicker than with the manual boost controller that was on the car, and the ECU now knows like how much boost the car is running, so it can activate some safeguards if it does start running too much boost. So we had to take a break right before the final run. Hans loaded up the last flash, and like that was going to be the last one. He started the car, and as soon as he started the pool, my power steering line that was routed behind the power steering pump somehow started rubbing the pulley and sliced, and it started shooting power steering fluid all over the driver's side of the engine bay. So we had to take a quick sec. Thankfully, Hans had some line on the shelf, and his mechanic Rob swapped it out, and we got it all taken care of. Did that last pool, let the car get up to temp, did that last pool, made the 330, 344, and that was going to be the best we could do. Remember, this is a stock injector car, and Hans did say that this is the highest horsepower stock injector car he has done. But he was saying that, like, based off of the numbers that we got today, if I were to go to like a 550cc injector, I could easily make 400 wheel. But at the same time, at this point, I don't really want to get too crazy, because I still have a pretty much stock drive line. I think if I were to get my hands down the line on like a billet transfer case, then I'd be a little more willing to be putting that much more power through the drivetrain, because the transfer case is my weakness. So overall, I'm ecstatic. Like, I'm so happy that the car, you know, survived the dyno session, because that's a crazy amount of abuse, and that it put the numbers down that it did. It gained 30 wheel horsepower and about 60 foot-pounds of torque. So like, big change. It's going to be a totally different animal on the track, and I can't wait to get it on the track and, like, you know, test this thing out and see how it does. So now I'm going to get this thing home, and when I get home, I'll show you guys what I mean by it's wrapped. All right, guys, so I just got this thing offloaded from the trailer. Like I said, it was plastic wrapped to try and, I'll drop a picture here, to try and get it to be a little more protected from the salt spray on the way home. It worked, but just as it did get, you know, some dirt and stuff on it. So I just washed the thing. Thankfully, it's like a degree above freezing today. So I got this thing all washed up, and except for the wind. Power steering issue all taken care of. That line that we made, I just bled the power steering system, so the pump's not making any noise anymore, and everything is good. So I'm going to get it back in the garage probably tomorrow, and then move the V out, and we'll get to started on finishing the wrap. So we got to finish the hood, got to finish the hood vent, headlight buckets, and the front bumper. And that driver's side skirt. So I'm gonna finish washing the truck and the trailer before I freeze to death out here, and wrap it up. So like I mentioned before, I'm waiting for that Mac valve to come in that I ordered, and FedEx has it somewhere deep in the abyss, and they don't know when they're even gonna drop it off. So once that Mac valve comes in, I'll show you guys how to wire up the Mac valve to use it with Chrome. And when it comes to actually using it with Chrome, that's going to be on the tuner, because Hans was doing some stuff that I got lost, but I have it on video, so I'm going to try and research a little more and teach myself more about it. But I'm glad now that the car's dialed in, so that if there's ever tweaks that need to be made, I can send Hans logs and whatnot, and he could possibly make some changes and email me back tune files that I can flash onto the computer. I just got to get my hands on a Tatrix cable. But the car, I'm hyped to try it out. There's a couple things I just need to go over on the car. I'm gonna upgrade some vacuum lines and just clean some vacuum lines up, and just little things that I want to clean up to alleviate any potential issues down the line. Make sure that new power steering line is clamped on well, and everything's out of the way of pulleys and things like that aren't going to get shredded, and just give it a good look over before I go ahead and like nut and bolt everything, get it on the alignment rack, and, you know, get the mechanical aspect finished up before the season. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Remember to hit the bell, subscribe, all that good stuff, and like I said, I'll see you in the next one.